Aiden here with eTrailer. If you're looking to get a little bit of extra cargo space in your 2023 GMC Terrain, then a roof box could be a really good option to look into because it keeps your stuff enclosed and locked up, so you don't have to worry too much about tying it down super particularly when you're going down the road. And if you don't need a whole lot of extra space, then something smaller like the Benton ShellRaiser could be a good fit for you. Let's check it out. So with a roof box this small, you are going to get something that I think looks a little bit goofy on top of the Terrain, but if you don't need a ton of cargo capacity, then why pay for it? Because the bigger roof boxes get, the more expensive they get. The ShellRaiser comes in at 8 cubic feet of storage space, and it's going to be one of the more entry-level options, much more affordable than other boxes of a similar size, and especially compared to larger boxes. You gotta also think you have to store this somewhere when it's not in use. So if you only use this for camping trips, putting things like your sleeping bag, your tent, maybe an air mattress in there, then you probably don't need a ton of space anyway, and you're only gonna be using it when you camp. So when you're not camping, you're not using it, it's gonna live somewhere in your garage, and I'd much rather store something smaller like this than a really big 13 plus cubic foot box. To get the box open, you'll just take your included key, go over to the lock on either side, whatever side is more accessible, and pop the lid open. The lid is pretty stiff with those hinges, but they do a good job holding the lid really wide open for you, and it's gonna make it easier to load your stuff in and out. So if you did need to pack the box pretty full, you could. It wouldn't be too bad. As long as that lid then closes, you'd be good. One thing I've also noticed is that lid closes down pretty aggressively, so I would just watch your fingers as you're starting to close it, because once it goes, it just doesn't stop. Now the clamps on the inside are gonna be able to adjust from side to side along this whole track to adapt to different crossbar spreads. And on the clamp, there's gonna be multiple points on either end where the hand knob can adjust, or this block anchoring the cable on the other side can adjust to adapt to different crossbar shapes. I don't love the band particularly. It's a little bit awkward to set up, but it does do a good job wrapping around the crossbar and holding on pretty tight. If we look below, there's gonna be a slot in the clamp where you can use the included straps to feed through and tie down your cargo to help keep it still as you're driving down the road. Here's what that braided cord underneath looks like. It is coated, so you're not going to damage your crossbar with metal on metal contact, but I just don't particularly love this because it does feel a little bit thin for me, and it's just non-traditional. Most roof boxes will have something like a clamp or a U-bolt that goes underneath. The cord, for me, reminds me a lot of a bike cable lock. Now, when putting anything on your roof, you want to be mindful of the weight capacity. The box can hold 110 pounds, but you want to also check your roof rack and the roof of your vehicle, and just go by the lowest rated component. Roofs tend to be the weaker link, so you definitely don't want to overload it, and it's important to check your owner's manual with that information. But overall, if you just plan on carrying a couple things on your roof, then I think a smaller box like this is a perfect option. You might consider going with something like a basket, but boxes are nice because they're enclosed from the elements, and you can lock them up, and you don't have to worry too much about your stuff whenever you are driving down the road. And I think with this one especially being a more affordable option for the size and features you get, it'd be a really compelling choice for me, and I do think it's a really solid fit on the top of our 2023 GMC Terrain. My name's Aiden, and thank you for watching.